to talk about why addicted gamblers are bound to lose money. For this scenario, when I'm talking about an addicted gambler, I'm talking about a gambler who gambles quantitatively, not qualitatively. So I'm focusing on a gambler or a gambling addict who gambles for several hours a day, every single day of the week, or close to that amount. Let's say the gambler sits down with $1,000 in chips and bets $10 per spin on the first 12 numbers of the roulette table, or the first third. Anytime a number in the first third hits, he will win $20 of profit, and anytime a number in the second or third hits, he will lose the $10 bet that he put in. I've taken a random number generator and I've simulated 100 roulette spins, and we're going to use this to show how the gambler loses money because of the length of time he sits at the table. Starting from the top left corner, you can see the first 5 spins immediately out of the box, the gambler loses those. So by spin number 5, they're already down $50. So the gambler essentially has lost $50 in about 3 to 5 minutes. The losing trend continues for several more spins in general, but at some point the gambler hits a hot streak. And in fact, between this spin down to that spin, the gambler's net earnings is going to be $140 in the positive, so $140 of profit. The problem with gambling addicts is they don't stop once they're up money. The reason is because the addiction is not about the money. It might seem like it is, but oftentimes it is not. It is about the actual act of gambling, or the actual behavior itself, and the rewards and the feelings that they feel in their mind while they're gambling. So while a non-addicted gambler might say, hey, I'm up money, I'm up $140 or so, why don't I step out and just take that money and just put it in my pocket and go home? The addicted gambler is going to say, no, it's not about that. Maybe I can even win more. In their delusions, they can think maybe they can win more. And they want to keep playing because it's about the action. It's not about earning or winning money. So inevitably, due to statistical odds, once again, that short hot streak is going to be offset in the long run by statistical certainty, which is basically the fact that he can only win 1 out of 3 spins on average in the long run. So the longer he sits at the table, the more likely he is to lose money. Once again, we go back to the idea that for the gambling addict, it's not about the money, it's about the actual thrill of playing, oftentimes. You can see different heroin addicts who are injecting heroin say, if I got $2,000 worth of heroin, I would stay up all night and shoot it repetitively until all of it was gone. Gambling addicts, in a similar way, play until they have no money left. They play until they can no longer play. The reason is because, once again, it's about the action. It's about the gambling itself. It's not about the money. So whereas someone else might have walked away once they realized that they were up a sizable amount of money, the gambling addict stays and plays for longer and ends up losing in the long run. In this situation with 100 spins randomly occurring, the individual would end that 100 spin sequence down $100. Now we have to keep in mind the fact that this is considering a minimum bet that is consistent across every single spin. If the gambling addict had been betting 2 or 3 or 4 times that amount, they would have lost 2 or 3 or 4 times that amount of money. Meaning instead of betting $10 per spin, if they were betting $20 or $30 or $40, they would have been down $200, $300 or $400 by the end of that session. Another facet of addiction is that the longer you're in that addiction, and the longer that you reinforce the addictive behavior, the less you are able to recognize and realize your delusions. So the longer a person is an addict, the less they're able to realize that they're an addict, and the less they're able to realize that the things that they're doing are not rational and are harmful. So in this situation, the gambling addict might have been gambling every single day for months and months and months, and he still, in the back of his mind, believes he can win money. But once again, when he wins the money, he's not able to sit there and say, I'm done, I'm going to walk away. In his mind, he's thinking he can win more, and he can also get more action. So anytime the gambling addicts win money, they oftentimes pour that right back into their play because they think that they can either win more or they're not satisfied with their fix. Taking these things into consideration, it's fairly easy to see how an addicted gambler who is already several $1,000s in debt and is in serious financial trouble will take any money that they receive from friends and family and put it right back into gambling. The reason is because the money and the gambling is a vehicle through which they can achieve.